Listen gently for a moment. Have you ever tried to sleep, but your mind wouldn't stop worrying? Have you ever felt your heart racing at night, thinking about problems you can't fix, or fears you can't explain? There is a message from Allah that was revealed for people exactly like this, for those who feel tired, overwhelmed, and alone in the dark. A message that brings comfort to hearts that cannot rest. Before we continue, tell me, where are you watching this from, and what time is it right now in your city? Your answer might remind someone that they are not struggling alone tonight. When the night feels too heavy to carry, there comes a moment in every believer's life when the night feels heavier than the day, when everything becomes quiet on the outside but unbearably loud on the inside. Sometimes a person lies down hoping for rest, but instead of sleep, the mind begins replaying every worry, every fear, every mistake, and every moment that made the heart weak. The silence of the night can make even the strongest person feel alone, and the darkness can make small problems feel impossibly large. Many people never admit it, but the hardest battles are not the ones fought with others. The hardest battles are fought within ourselves. The battle that happens when you feel disappointed in life, when you feel unsure about your future, when you look around and wonder why everything suddenly feels so uncertain. And when these thoughts grow, the heart begins to ache in a way that words cannot explain. You try to breathe calmly, yet your chest feels tight. You close your eyes, yet your mind stays awake. You want peace, but your heart keeps shaking. This is the moment when a believer begins to question things silently. Why is this happening to me? Will things ever get better? Does anyone understand what I'm carrying? Will Allah answer me? These questions are not signs of weakness. They are signs of a heart that is exhausted, desperate for reassurance, and longing for something to hold on to. And just like that, when it feels like no one sees your pain, Allah sees it. When it feels like no one hears your silent cries, Allah hears them. When you think no one understands the pressure inside your chest, Allah understands it more than you do. Every heartbeat, every tear, every fear you hide from the world is known to the one who created you. There were moments in the lives of the righteous where they too struggled with worry, confusion, and overwhelming silence. And each time Allah sent comfort in a way they never expected. He never allows a heart to break without building it again. He never allows a believer to fall without preparing a rise. He never allows a night to stay dark without bringing a dawn that wipes the fear away. Just because you feel alone right now does not mean you are alone. Just because the night feels heavy does not mean Allah has left you. Sometimes the hardest nights are the ones that bring the most powerful messages from the most merciful. The surah that came when the heart felt abandoned. In moments of unbearable silence, when worry grows heavier than hope, Allah revealed a surah that changed everything. Surah Ad-Duha, Surah 93, was sent down during a time when even the heart of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ felt the weight of sadness and uncertainty. Revelation had paused for a period, and the people around him whispered that his Lord had abandoned him. These words hurt deeply, not because they were true, but because silence can make even a strong believer question what is happening. Allah saw his beloved messenger's pain. Allah saw the quiet trembling of a heart that wanted reassurance. And instead of letting him carry the burden alone, Allah sent a surah that would become a lifelong comfort for every believer who feels lost at night, overwhelmed by their thoughts, or unsure about their future. When Surah Ad-Duha, Surah 93, began with the imagery of a bright morning after a long dark night, it was not only a description of nature, it was a message to every worried heart. Just as the sun returns every single day without fail, the mercy of Allah will return to your life even if it feels delayed. The darkness you are experiencing is not permanent. The silence you feel is not abandonment. And the slow answers are not a sign that Allah has forgotten you. Allah declared in this surah, "Your Lord has not left you, nor has He forgotten you." These words were not meant only for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They were meant for every believer who lies awake at night, overthinking their future, every soul whose heart beats faster from anxiety, every person who wonders if their prayers are reaching the sky. Allah is telling you through this surah that He is closer than you think. He sees the nights you cannot sleep. He sees the tears you wiped quickly before anyone noticed. He sees the fears you are too scared to say out loud, and He responds with a promise powerful enough to lift even the heaviest heart. When Allah says He has not left you, it means every delay has wisdom, every silence has protection, every hardship has a purpose, and every night of worry will eventually open into a morning of calm. Surah Ad-Duha, Surah 93, was revealed to teach us that Allah never walks away from a believer, not even for a moment. And this surah becomes a reminder that if Allah did not abandon His beloved messenger in his hardest days, then He will not abandon you in yours. When Allah promises your future will be brighter, one of the most powerful moments in Surah Ad-Duha, Surah 93, is when Allah declares with absolute certainty, "And the future will be better for you than the past." These words were revealed at a time when the world was heavy, when confusion surrounded the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and when people attempted to shake his confidence by questioning his mission. Yet Allah responded with a promise so full of hope, so full of love, and so full of reassurance that it continues to heal hearts more than 1400 years later. Think for a moment about what Allah is saying. He is telling you that no matter what has happened in your life, no matter how many disappointments you've faced, no matter how many nights you cried quietly, your next chapter will be better than the ones that broke you. Allah, the one who controls every sunrise, every heartbeat, and every path, is telling you that your story is moving upward, even if you cannot see the direction yet. This ayah is not simply a statement. It is a shift in the way your heart sees the world. It invites you to stop defining your future through the lens of your current pain. It teaches you that Allah writes stories differently from how humans imagine them. Where you see loss, Allah sees preparation. Where you see delays, Allah sees protection. Where you see failure, Allah sees a new beginning being quietly formed. Imagine a believer lying awake at night, overwhelmed by fear. Their mind is battling every negative thought. Their heart feels fragile. In that exact moment, Allah is reminding them through this surah that whatever they lost will be replaced with something better. Whatever broke them will lead to something stronger, and whatever worried them will eventually reveal a blessing they never expected. When Allah promises a brighter future, it is not based on wishful thinking. It is based on divine knowledge, knowledge of what is coming, knowledge of what is hidden, knowledge of what your heart needs even before you understand it yourself. Your future is not shaped by the pain of your past. It is shaped by the mercy of Allah, and His mercy is greater than every hardship you have faced. Surah Ad-Duha teaches that your darkest nights do not define you. Your mistakes do not limit you. Your struggles are not the end of your journey. Allah is guiding you towards something better, even if the path is difficult right now. There were many moments when you thought you wouldn't survive the hardship you were facing, yet here you are still breathing, still learning, still growing. That alone is a sign that Allah has been carrying you without you realizing it. And just as He carried you through your past, He will carry you into a future filled with peace, clarity, and blessings that feel tailor-made for your heart. The ayah is a promise that the pain you feel is temporary, but the relief Allah is preparing is permanent. Your tears may fall today, but one day they will be replaced with gratitude, because Allah will show you why this chapter happened the way it did. This surah teaches you to trust not the situation, not the timing, not the circumstances, but to trust Allah Himself. Because when Allah promises your future will be better, it is already written. It is already guaranteed. It is already on its way to you. Allah, reminds you of everything He has already done for you. One of the most profound parts of Surah Ad-Duha, Surah 93, is when Allah gently reminds the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam of everything He had already done for him. But this reminder is not only for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is for every believer whose heart becomes heavy, whose thoughts become overwhelming, and whose nights become sleepless. Allah asks you to pause and look back, not to reopen pain, not to remember failures, but to see how many times Allah carried you through moments you thought would destroy you. Think deeply for a moment. There were times in your life when you didn't have the answers, yet Allah guided you. There were days when you didn't know how you would survive, yet Allah protected you. There were moments when you didn't have what you needed, yet Allah provided from places you never imagined. There were nights when your heart was breaking, yet Allah held you together in ways only He could. When Allah says in this surah, "Did He not find you and take care of you?" He is teaching you something essential. You were never truly alone. Not then, not now, not ever. Many people look at their struggles today and assume Allah is distant, but they forget how many times Allah saved them before this. They forget the dangers they never saw, the blessings they never expected, the solutions that came at the last possible moment, the strength they found inside themselves when they thought they had none left. Allah is reminding you that your entire life is filled with hidden mercies. Mercies you noticed, mercies you ignored, mercies you forgot, and mercies you never even knew existed. Every year of your life, every chapter of your story, every hardship you faced contained moments where Allah protected you quietly without showing you how. He softened hearts for you. He blocked harm from reaching you. He opened opportunities that you thought were coincidences, but were actually written with divine precision. If you look back honestly, you will realize something powerful. Allah has never failed you, not once. Even in the chapters that broke you, He was preparing you. Even in the moments that made you cry, He was strengthening you. Even in the delays that frustrated you, He was building something far better than what you were asking for. This surah teaches that remembering Allah's past kindness is the key to calming today's fear. Because the one who never abandoned you before will not begin abandoning you now. He who guided you through childhood, through confusion, through heartbreak, through mistakes, through loss, through challenges, is the same one guiding you today, and the same one preparing your tomorrow. And when Allah reminds you of your past blessings, He is not just telling you to be grateful, He is telling you to breathe, to relax your shoulders, to let go of the fear that keeps repeating in your mind, to trust that the one who took care of every detail of your journey so far will take care of the rest with a wisdom far beyond your understanding. Surah Ad-Duha pulls your heart away from panic and gently directs it toward recognition. Recognition that Allah has always been with you, writing your story with mercy even when you thought you were alone. And if He protected you before you even knew how to ask for protection, imagine what He is preparing for you now that you are calling on Him with a heart full of need. The surah that melts the fear you carry in silence. Among the most beautiful gifts of Surah Ad-Duha, Surah 93, is the way it speaks directly to the fears that people hide from the world. It doesn't address the fears we admit openly. It addresses the fears we carry quietly, the ones we don't talk about because we feel no one will understand. Every human being has a private world of worry, a place inside their mind where thoughts run wild, especially at night when everything is quiet and the heart becomes vulnerable. This surah was sent to protect that inner world, to calm it and to heal it. There are times when a person lies down hoping for sleep, but instead of rest, the mind floods with every possible scenario. What if things get worse? What if something unexpected happens? What if life never becomes stable again? These thoughts build one on top of another until the heart feels heavy, the breathing becomes shallow, and the person begins to feel stuck in a cycle they cannot escape. But Allah in His mercy, did not leave the believer alone in these moments. He revealed a surah that breaks through this fog of fear and brings clarity and comfort back to the heart. Surah Ad-Duha reminds you that the world is not as dark as your worries make it seem. The surah is like a light quietly entering a room that has been dark for too long. Allah tells you that just as the morning arrives after the night, relief arrives after hardship. Just as dawn breaks no matter how dark the night becomes, your situation will open no matter how hopeless it feels. Allah designed the universe to show you that difficulty is never the final state of a believer. When this surah was revealed, it didn't simply reassure the Prophet ﷺ. It reassured every believer who would ever lie awake, wondering if Allah had forgotten them. It reassured the mother who cries silently after everyone sleeps, the father who worries about providing for his family, the young person unsure about their future, the elderly person afraid of loneliness, the believer who feels spiritually weak, and the heart that feels exhausted from pretending to be strong all day. This surah tells you something the world rarely tells you. Your fears are not a sign that you are weak. They are a sign that you are human and that you need Allah. And Allah responds to that need with mercy, not judgment. It teaches you that Allah is not distant from your thoughts. He knows the worry that keeps you awake. He knows the stress that tightens your chest. He knows the prayer you repeat softly, hoping it will save you from breaking. He knows the future you are afraid to imagine, and He assures you in this surah that your present pain is not the end of your story. Some people think that their fear is too big, or their worry is too complicated, or their situation is too tangled. But this surah tells you that nothing is beyond Allah's control, and nothing is too messy for His mercy. He can rewrite chapters, open doors, soften hearts, change outcomes, and transform situations in ways you never thought possible. This surah is a reminder that every fear you have today will one day make sense. You will look back and realize that the things you were terrified of never happened. You will recognize that the nights you couldn't sleep were actually nights Allah used to bring you closer to Him. You will understand that the tears you shed were washing away weakness and preparing you for strength. And you will see that Allah was building your future quietly, even while you were worried about it loudly. When you recite Surah Ad-Duha during moments of anxiety, it becomes a spiritual medicine. It settles the heart without you even realizing how. It clears the mind without you understanding the process. It replaces fear with trust, panic with calmness, and doubts with certainty that Allah is still writing your story with love. This surah teaches that you are not alone in your fear, not forgotten in your struggle, not abandoned in your confusion. You are being guided, protected, and prepared by the most merciful. The night may feel long, but Allah's promise is longer. And as long as He is with you, your fear will never overpower your future. The hidden wisdom behind your delays, struggles, and sleepless nights. As you travel through the meaning of Surah Ad-Duha, Surah 93, you begin to realize that Allah does not allow pain to enter your life without placing a gift inside it. Every difficulty you experience, every delay, every heartbreak, every moment of fear is carrying something you cannot see yet. And sometimes Allah allows worry to fill the night, so that you will finally pause long enough to hear the message He is sending you. Many people look at their challenges and think, why me? Why now? Why this problem? They assume that hardship is a punishment, or that silence means Allah has turned away, or that things are happening because Allah is displeased with them. But this surah breaks that misunderstanding entirely. It teaches you that Allah's love often comes disguised as struggle, and His mercy sometimes arrives through paths that initially look painful. When Allah loves a believer, He does not allow them to stay in a place that limits their growth. He moves them, shapes them, tests them, strengthens them, and redirects them, even if the process feels heavy. What you call a delay might actually be protection. What you call a loss might be a doorway to something far greater. What you call uncertainty might be Allah rearranging your life into something your heart has been praying for without you even realizing it. Think about your own life. There were moments when you were convinced you knew what you wanted, yet Allah didn't give it to you. You felt frustrated, disappointed, maybe even heartbroken. But months or years later, you realized that if Allah had allowed you to have what you asked for, it might have harmed you or slowed your growth. Surah Ad-Duha teaches you to trust that Allah sees things you cannot see, and He protects you from things you do not understand yet. Sometimes Allah closes a door not because the room behind it is empty, but because He has prepared a better room for you, one you never expected, one you never asked for, one you never imagined. And often, the path to that better room begins with nights of worry that you think you cannot handle. But Allah knows your heart better than you do. He knows its limits, its strength, its potential, and the exact moment when relief should arrive. This surah reminds you that Allah's timing is perfect. He does not rush your blessings because you are impatient, and He does not delay them because He has forgotten you. He delays them because He wants them to arrive at a moment when your heart is ready, your character is prepared, and your faith is strong enough to hold on to what He is about to give you. When you feel stuck, Allah is moving things for you behind the scenes. When your heart feels weak, Allah is building strength inside you quietly. When your mind is full of fear, Allah is preparing clarity for you. When you don't see a way out, Allah is opening a door you haven't reached yet. Your sleepless nights are not meaningless. Your tears are not wasted. Your fears are not ignored. Allah counts every moment of your struggle, and He responds with a plan that carries more mercy than you can comprehend. There is a reason the surah shifts from darkness to light, from fear to reassurance, from confusion to clarity. Allah wants you to understand that just because you can't see something changing does not mean nothing is happening. Seeds grow underground long before you ever see the first leaf, and your relief is growing in the unseen world long before it appears in your life. This surah teaches that Allah is not only the one who hears your prayers, He is the one who answers them in the most perfect way, at the most perfect time, through the most perfect path. Even the moments you think are breaking, you are actually shaping you into someone who will appreciate the blessing when it finally arrives. If you are going through a difficult chapter right now, remember this: your pain is not random, your worry is not pointless, your hardship is not a sign of Allah's displeasure. It is a sign that Allah is preparing you for a future written with wisdom, love, and divine precision. And one day, you will look back at this chapter and realize that everything you feared was actually leading you to everything you needed. The night you recite this surah, your heart begins to change. There comes a moment in every believer's journey when they don't need more explanations, more logic, or more answers. They need comfort. They need to feel seen. They need to feel held by the one who knows every secret of their heart. Surah Ad-Duha, Surah 93, is that comfort. It is the spiritual blanket Allah wraps around the hearts that are trembling, the souls that feel lost, and the minds that refuse to quiet down at night. Something extraordinary happens when you recite this surah during a night of worry. You may not notice it immediately, but inside your chest, something begins to shift. The pressure loosens just a little. The air becomes easier to breathe. The thoughts racing through your mind begin to slow down. It is as if Allah Himself is whispering into your heart, "You are safe. I am here. I have not left you." When a person reads this surah with sincerity, they start to see their life differently. They realize that their sleepless nights were not punishments, they were invitations. Invitations to reconnect with Allah, to ask Him for help, to lean on Him with a heart that finally understands that no human being can carry these worries alone. Think of all the nights you cried quietly, pretending you were fine. Think of the moments when you were smiling on the outside but breaking on the inside. Think of the days when your strength was only an act because you didn't want others to worry. Through this surah, Allah tells you that He saw every moment, even the ones you hid from the world. When you reach the final verses of Surah Ad-Duha, Allah gives a powerful instruction not just to the Prophet ﷺ, but to every believer who experiences fear, worry, and spiritual fatigue. He tells you to remember the blessings you've been given, to recognize how far you've come, and then to use your life, your kindness, your words, your actions, and your presence to bring hope to others who feel lost. This is because people who have walked through darkness understand how precious light is. People who have cried alone understand how powerful a small act of mercy can be. People who have experienced anxiety understand how comforting a gentle reminder can feel. This surah is not only about receiving healing, it is also about becoming a source of healing for others. It teaches you that your pain has shaped you in a way that allows you to help the broken, guide the lost, and comfort the worried. Your journey was not just for you, it was also for those who will one day need your strength. Imagine a believer reciting this surah tonight, sitting in a dark room, struggling to quiet their thoughts. As the verses flow from their lips, something unseen begins to heal. The heaviness in their heart begins to soften. The burden they've been carrying starts to feel lighter. The doorway to their future begins to open, and for the first time in a long time, they feel hope instead of fear. That is the power of a surah revealed with divine love. It does not change your circumstances instantly, but it changes you, your perspective, your trust, your patience, your strength, and your relationship with Allah. A person who recites Surah Ad-Duha with an open heart does not remain the same. They wake up the next morning with a slightly clearer mind, a slightly lighter heart, and a deeper understanding that Allah never leaves His servant without a way out. This chapter of your life, no matter how heavy it feels right now, is not your ending. It is preparation. It is foundation. It is transformation. It is Allah shaping you gently and lovingly into someone who will one day look back and say, "I needed that chapter, even though I didn't understand it at the time." So when you recite this surah tonight, do not recite it quickly. Let the meaning sink into your heart. Let every verse wash through your fears. Let every promise anchor you. Let every reassurance calm you. Because this surah was not sent randomly. It was sent for people exactly like you. People who struggle to sleep from worry. People whose hearts need a sign of hope. People who are waiting for the morning after a long, painful night. And Allah promises that the morning is coming. It always comes. It has never failed. My beloved brothers and sisters, if tonight your heart feels heavy, if your mind refuses to rest, if your thoughts are louder than the silence around you, then remember this truth. Allah has not forgotten you. Allah has not left you. Allah is closer than your breath and more loving than you can ever imagine. Every verse of Surah Ad-Duha, Surah 93, is a reminder that your story is still unfolding, your dawn is still being prepared, and your future holds more mercy than your past ever held pain. The night you are struggling through right now is not a sign of Allah turning away. It is a sign that Allah is bringing you closer, teaching your heart to trust Him, and preparing something better than what you lost. So breathe. Place your fear in Allah's hands. Place your future in Allah's hands. Place your entire heart in Allah's hands, because He has never failed you, and He never will. As you end this reminder, whisper a small prayer. Ask Allah for calmness, ask Him for clarity, ask Him for strength, and ask Him for a morning filled with peace. And remember, a believer never walks alone, not in the darkest night, not in the heaviest moment, not in the deepest fear. Allah is with you, guiding you, protecting you, and writing a chapter far more beautiful than the one you're worried about. May Allah fill your nights with peace, your days with light, and your future with blessings that erase every worry from your heart. Ameen, Ya Rab.